Hello and welcome to Cumbria Gardens. I'd like you to introduce you to the owner, Mr. John Sanderson. Good morning, John. Tell us a little bit about Cumbria Gardens, how long you've been running for and what your business is about.
Well, my wife Caroline and I set up Cumbria Gardens in 1998. It was set up because I'd always wanted to be self-employed after spending many years working on country estates or running garden centres and all sorts of other horticultural activities. So we set up Cumbria Gardens, and it's gone strength to strength with a small but a very effective team. And here in Enmore, where we happen to be, is where we have our show garden, which actually gives a clear demonstration through this archway of the sort of work carried out by Cumbria Gardens. So by all means, go and have a look.
Thank you very much. So this would be your show garden, and when did you create this garden?
This was started in 1998. There was nothing in here at all. It was just it had been a vegetable garden since 1872.
And you created this garden in, was it 1999?
1998 was the first spadeful of soil removed.
And here we have your pond. Wow. There's an acer. Beautiful. And we're going to see some water coming down here. It actually looks part of the landscape in there, which is really good.
Whenever I create a waterfall, I always try and make it look natural, so that you wouldn't actually know it was there. If it was turned off, you wouldn't know there was any water would ever come down there.
And how deep is this pond?
This pond's about 6 foot deep. That's purely my own choice because I wanted to keep koi carp in it, and the deeper it is, it's easier for them to get away from Mr. Heron.
And I see you've got a stranded boat in there as well. It's very natural. I see obviously it's got a very organic look to it, because you've got, obviously you yourself have planted many of these trees and bushes and plants in here, but then there's also the Mother Nature's plants in here as well.
Well, that's very much what this garden's all about. It's not to look too contrived. I wanted it to have a definite natural feel, like a woodland garden, so that if you end up with a bank full of buttercups and a few dandelions, then so be it. That's what it's all about, because that's what you get in woodland gardens.
Right. Beautiful. Now we'll go through to the next section. Interesting garden.
The space is a long, narrow area, measuring about 30 feet wide by 75 feet long, and it was also on a very steep slope. This gave a few problems of its own, so the garden is actually designed around the letter S, so we're right in the middle of the S at the moment.
Some more acers, butterfly, palmatum. And here we have some more decking. Another little pond for frogs, no doubt. And there's quite a drop down there. You've got another path, as you say, in that S shape that comes all the way down the side, down to your summer house. And then you have your aviary here. Absolutely beautiful. And there you've got almost like a Chinese garden down there.
Yes, well this is what's known as Dragon's Deep. This was quite a challenge to create this, because there's no mortar involved in any of the walls. It's all dry stone, and the dragon that's in the bottom down there is actually a lawn ornament in 3 separate parts sitting on a submersed plank, so that it gives a very effective look of swimming across the pond.
Right. So how long did it take you to create this garden? I know it's a work in progress, but initially to get everything set up.
Well, to get all the actual shaping of the garden done, I started up at the top and worked the way down, pushing all the excess stone and soil down to the bottom, and that process took the best part of 3 years. But all gardens, they're never finished. If they're finished, it's dead. All gardens should evolve, and they carry on evolving. There's always something to be done. So this garden now is actually 12 years old, and there's still things to be done. It takes very little maintenance, probably about an hour a week maximum.
Right. And then you have your aviary here. Got some parrots in there.
It's just a little hobby of mine, breeding a few parakeets.
And then you have your summer house.
The summer house was made entirely out of recycled materials. Everything in here has been thrown away by somebody and retrieved by us.
Beautiful. What we'll do is we'll go back up the garden the other way. So this is at the bottom of the S shape. Close encounter of the dragon. Well, you've got another branch that goes out along here as well. I mean, this originally started off as a rectangular piece of land, and you've just totally transformed it. I mean, one could almost get lost here.
The whole idea was to create our own little world, so that when you're actually in this garden, it's very difficult to see out. But we didn't want to create something that made you feel like you were enclosed. We wanted to create something that, yes, you are enclosed, but you can't see all the straight lines of the boundaries.
I've noticed a lot of the plants and trees you've got in here are obviously very different colours. I mean, there's a little bit of green, but also it's white.
Yes, a pet hobby of mine is maples, particularly the Japanese maples. There's about 40 different ones in this small garden, but not all the maples are of the palmatum variety. This one that you've just been looking at is a variety of Acer campestre with the ordinary English field maple. But as you can see, there's nothing particularly ordinary about that tree. That one is actually now about 10 years old. It's been in the garden 10 years.
What about this big one here then?
Oh, that's a golden weeping willow, just like you'd see on the River Avon at Stratford. There's a lot of plants in this garden ordinarily would be actually way too big for the size of the landscape. So with a little bit of what I call bonsaiing techniques, we can actually keep them in scale with the actual landscape we're working within.
And this one here?
Well, this lovely pink and white one here is a variety of snakebark maple. It's actually a new introduction. This particular one has only been around about 6 years.
Beautiful. Look, it's beautiful pink as well as green on there. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Sanderson, for the introduction to your garden.
Thank you.